It was Zoom and other conference calls, so it doesn't work. I can listen to anything else anytime, fine, but I cannot get connected here.
Well, I'm gonna record this so that ones that have missed it can be in on it. There's Jim Booth. Hey, Jim.
There. Good
Yeah.
morning, Jim.
Morning, Jim. You're muted, I think. Are you? Where'd he go?
Can you hear us, Jim? He's frozen in time. Is it really cold up there?
You have to unmute yourself. I can't unmute you. Chris Conway Del Conte. There you go. Say something so we can hear you. Are you still living?
Doesn't have a camera or a mic.
Yep, one of the two. He has no camera or mic. Okay, so listen mode. Hey, this has got to be a first for him. Okay.
We didn't want to hear from him anyway.
Yeah.
He's a troublemaker.
Okay.
He's not the only one, though, huh?
No, there's a guy named Fuller that's bad about that as well.
I never make trouble.
I can't see. Okay. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm recording. And let me share the agenda. Where'd it go? Okay, everyone can see the agenda.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're going to get started. If we'll just bow our heads in prayer. Lord Jesus, we come to you even though our number is small today. We know that you will do great and mighty things in our group. And we just ask for your wisdom. And Lord, we lift up our president and our first lady that you would quickly heal them from the COVID-19 virus so that he can get back to doing what he does best. And that is reaching out to the people and being a great leader. We just ask, oh Lord, that you would open our minds and our ears, impart your wisdom, and give us direction on where we need to go as a group in the state of Arkansas. I ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Well, the only new leader that I had to introduce is not on the call today, so that would be Pamela Bowles. And so when she gets, hopefully, I can get her on the next call. She's a district captain, first one that Jamie Franks has recruited, so I'm very excited for him. Before we get started, I wanted to let y'all know I'd hope to have these at the the summit meeting, but didn't have it. And I don't know if you can see these. Let me stop my sharing. See this little
Yep.
Constitution?
There you go.
These go on the back of your phone. See that?
Uh-huh.
And I put my business card in there. And let me tell you how I've been using these. You know, I'll talk to anybody. I've never met a stranger. And one day I happened to be going into Walmart, and there was a gentleman that had a Trump hat on, and we were kind of, I had to wait to pull into the parking place next to him and his wife. And he apologized for being so slow and making me wait, which was okay. And we started talking. I said, "So you're a Trump supporter?" And he said, "Yeah, I am." And so I said, "Well, if you're a Trump supporter, let me talk to you about Convention of States. Have you ever heard of it?" And he said, "Well, yeah, I've been studying about them online." He said, "But that's a long-term solution, isn't it?" And I said, "Well, here, let me give you my business card. When you got a little bit more time, we're not shopping at Walmart. Why don't you give me a call?" It's a real quick way, real quick access to reaching out to people and letting them know about Convention of States. So I'm sending everybody one of these, and utilize it or not, it's up to you, but they're real handy. And it holds several business cards. Okay, let me try sharing again. Don't report on positions that need to be filled. District captains, district captains, district captains, and I need to fill regional captains. So we need to really start focusing on that. I'm gonna assume that everybody has gotten notification about Circle of 10.vote. And again, I got sprung on the regional call the other night that they want 50% of each state team to go online to circleof10.vote and put in 10 contact people that you will make sure to contact to get out the vote and or to register to vote. Now in Arkansas, Monday is the last day that people can register to vote in this election. I had Susan Sigler call me the other day, and she goes, "I don't have children, I don't have siblings, so how do I recruit people for my Circle of 10? And one way to do that is, it's a little late now for us, but I suggested to her that she call her pastor and get a table, because their last day to register to vote is Monday too. And just register people that are not registered to vote at her church. So that's one way. I told her, I said, they should have started this a lot sooner than they did. And now I suggested to our new regional director the other day that what we really needed was poll watchers, since the integrity of this election is going to be highly suspect, and it'll probably be solved at the Supreme Court level. But poll watchers are a great deterrent to anyone who would commit fraud in the voting polling place, or the ability to watch them count absentee votes, which is typically where your fraud will occur. And I've trained poll watchers before. Y'all might contact your county election commissioners and suggest to them that you're interested in being trained as a poll watcher and serving in that capacity. I think Catherine said she had volunteered to be a poll worker. I might be wrong, but I think she did. So that's something that I told Susan and our new regional director that the next election cycle, COS people across the nation need to be serving as poll watchers to ensure the integrity of our elections. Any comment on that? Nope. Okay.
Jackie, that does require some training from the election commission folks.
Right, or you just get training. I mean, I can,
think.
yeah, I can do some training, but you have to go into your county clerk and file a form that you will be poll watching in the polls for that. Oh, hold on a second. Rodney's asking for a password.
COS action.
SAR, yep. It's in the invite, Rodney.
I had to actually log into this via Facebook because I didn't have a password or could not make a password work. And I'd never been asked for a password before going into Zoom. So, but when I went to Zoom, it said you have to have a password.
Yeah, the only reason why I password protected it is to keep other people that are not of our team out.
No, that's the right idea. It's just it's not obvious where you put the password. The passwords that were in the message didn't fit what they wanted, or I was using the wrong email. So,
Yeah, just remember, I always put the invite in the AR-leaders channel on our Arkansas Slack too.
To Bob's point, the confusion is probably that you have to log into Zoom first. You have to create a personal account with them. Once you're in Zoom, then you can use the link and you don't need the meeting password. Rodney's probably stuck at the same place Bob was, logging into Zoom, so Zoom knew he wasn't just some anonymous person.
Yeah,
very
but
likely.
Rodney has a personal Zoom account.
Well,
He just
I
may have
did.
forgotten to log into it.
I did too, and I got disconnected from it one time. I think now it wants me to set it all up again.
Huh, that's weird. Shouldn't have to
I had
do
to
that.
sign into it again this morning too, but I just set it up on my phone again.
Okay. It is not working weird. He's using his Huckleberry, but it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter that it shouldn't matter.
The only way I could get in this time without wasting a whole lot of time was to just use a Facebook login.
Facebook? I didn't put it on Facebook. Oh, you used your Google login.
Yeah, yep.
Okay.
And that's not secure, but it's the only way I could get in.
But it shouldn't matter. I don't know why.
I think there's been a reset at Zoom. They have security issues, and they may have reset all of these to solve those.
Yeah, maybe so. David Ormsby, I see you, but you're still muted. Look in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, and there's a little microphone with a red line through it. You need to click on that and unmute yourself. It'll take us a little while to adjust to this, but I think you'll like this because we can do a little bit more with Zoom than we could with freeconferencecall.com. Let's see, as I was saying,
It looks like Jim Booth is having a similar login problem.
well, Linda just logged in again too. I don't know what's going on here.
With these toys, it's probably very important to stress I require a password, so do a test run to make sure you can get in.
Right. There's Jim. So I have typically everyone coming in with video, but mute.
Jim is just having a flaky behavior problem. Zoom was quitting unexpectedly on him.
Huh. Okay, well, I'm just going to plug along because we are recording this. But let's see. We're circle of 10.vote. Anyway, I would just, if you're interested in being a poll watcher, and it is a big deterrent to fraud, I'll just give you a couple examples. I was poll watching. There's Rodney. I was poll watching over in another county, not the one I live in. And let's see, that was the 2010 election. And a little lady walked into one of the polling sites that I was at, and she said, I got an absentee ballot, but I lost it. Can I go ahead and vote? And the election judge goes, sure, come on in. And I challenged her vote, because if I hadn't have challenged her vote, she could have potentially voted twice. So that's just a little example to understand. So I made her vote provisional. I challenged her vote, and I made her vote provisional. The election judge was extremely upset with me, but because provisional ballots typically are not counted unless it's a very, very close race. So, but only one of her votes would have been counted. Another example would be in the absentee voting, where you see that's where most of the fraud is caused. You have the ballot, which you have to sign. You have the inside envelope, which you have to sign, and you have an outside envelope. You go to the county clerk and you ask for an absentee ballot, and they give you and you have to sign their logbook, and every ballot is numbered. So when you take it home and you vote, you indicate on the ballot who you're voting for. You have to sign the ballot. You fold it up, put it in the inside envelope, sign the inside envelope, and stick it in the outside envelope, and then you mail it into your county clerk, where they'll be counted for that county. And all of the signatures have to match. Well, you've got some carriers, is what they call them, that will collect absentee ballots at nursing homes and places like that. And they will either substitute other ballots, or they will assist the resident in voting. And I caught 3 ballots in the same county that I was poll watching at, that it was blatantly obvious that the signatures did not match. And so I challenged the vote, and they had to be thrown out. I got chewed out for disenfranchising those 3 voters, but it was absolutely obvious that that was not the same person that completed that ballot. So there's those kind of things that you watch for, and you get the training to know how to do that. So I'm just saying, if that's something that you would like to do, and I think Convention of States would do a great service to our nation in the next election, to get our people trained as being a poll watcher and having us positioned in our counties to be able to ensure the integrity of our election. So anyway, and I see Mr. Rodney, you're muted if you want to unmute yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
See ya. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Morning.
You have
Glad
eye
to be here.
boogers?
Huh?
Do you have eye boogers?
No, not really. I've been up walking the dog. I've been up since 6 or so, I guess. I don't
No.
know.
Okay, we're down to number 5 now, and you might want to say something about this, Rodney, if you want to. the new onboarding process, has everyone reviewed that? It was sent through the new COS Action app that you should have downloaded to your phone.
Yeah. So from the person that's applying for a role, it's been streamlined a little bit for them because they don't have to go through the volunteer agreement. For one thing, we were losing a lot of applicants across the country because it was asking them for their account confirmation, their volunteer agreement. They needed to sign that in an email, and they were missing that, and all kinds of things. So from their perspective, is nothing you need to know, I don't think, really, but it streamlines for them. For the onboarding process, you do need to look at that, and it's very important because there's some changes to the onboarding process for their volunteer agreement, when they sign that, how they sign that, and you might need to work with them a little bit through that. But it's also streamlined and it's way much better. And the cause action email address creation can be created after they're assigned, as well as the volunteer agreement. So yeah, make sure you look at that so you can help them. You know what to do when you're onboarding a person, because it's changed, and so you can help them as you're working with them through the onboarding process.
Hey, Rodney,
Yeah.
when did that change?
Monday.
Okay, because there was a change the last time I used it too. So, all right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I looked on the dashboard last night. We don't have any signers or applicants as of last night about 10 o'clock when I looked. So everybody's staying on top of it.
Well, but I think what I hear Rodney saying is people are not volunteering because it looks too complicated. Is that what you said, Rodney?
Yeah.
No, that was in the past. They were volunteering, but when it asked them, especially when people were trying to apply for a role on their phone, it was even worse. So they would be sent a confirmation for their account, and they wouldn't see that, but they have to sign the volunteer agreement so they can access the dashboard and different things like that. And they were missing that signing that volunteer agreement from their email, or it would go to their spam or something like that. So they would never end up in the LMT as an applicant. You'd never see them.
Right.
For the most part.
People give up just because we go back and forth with them, and they just get tired of it. We don't know what we're doing.
Right.
It's not just that item, it's 5 or 6 others.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's
That was
right.
something that, you know, Jackie reminds me expressing a concern about that some time ago, that we make it so overwhelming to get into the system that people just back out, right?
Well, it's easier
Mhm.
now because they can go in and make their application of what they want to volunteer for, but we don't force them to sign the volunteer agreement before we actually
Yeah.
talk to them. You know
Well,
what I'm
that's-
saying?
that's good.
The volunteer agreement is happening after they've made the application, after you've contacted them, after you assign their role, and then they get the volunteer agreement. Then you set
Right.
up their COS action email. It's a lot more logical flow to it.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I appreciate that.
Yeah, and if you haven't downloaded the COS Action app to your phone, it makes it a lot easier. I think, Rodney, didn't you push that out through the Action app, the COS Action app, and the video that Jason Gerard put together that shows you step by step how this works. And it also impacts the checklist that's inside of the onboarding process. So there's a lot of things that you can manually check off versus it being forced to be automatic, and you had to remember, okay, now I've got to go in and write in a note and click this and all that other kind of, all of that has been streamed in. So be sure to review that as soon as possible, because when we start getting more signers and more recruits to Arkansas COS, we need to be prepared and ready to be on top of that so that we don't frustrate people anymore and can get them on board and get them volunteering and being there for us, because people are very in tune with the current environment, the political environment that we're living in. They're very concerned about our country. And, you know, with the president being diagnosed with COVID-19 and as the first lady being diagnosed, there was a kind of a panic yesterday about all of this. And we know a lot more about the disease today than when it first happened, but I think people are losing perspective. And I posted on Facebook yesterday, let us keep our perspective. COVID-19 is a blip on the map. Socialism is a road to hell. Think. And I think that's what we need to keep. I view my role as keeping people's perspective on what's important. And what's important right now is to prevent our country from falling off the cliff and going into socialism, because it is extremely difficult to win freedom when that happens. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox.
So on the applicants and the recruiting, a little while back, we did a small set of recruiting through this DC target district recruiting, and pretty much my fault, didn't really stay on top of it with the ones on your team that were doing that. And I think we probably ought to revisit that for some more of you guys and put out some districts for target recruiting. It's a pretty slick way to do it. And what it is it's a web page that Laura Scala at National creates, and then her associate intern named Sydney McKeel, she creates an email that sends out that has a link to that web page in there. And we have had really good success across the Past States region and in other states in doing this. And so what's at that web page is just a matter of them entering their contact information. And when they do that, then when they hit submit, it gets sent to the person that's been designated as the one to receive that on your team. And so at that point, that person has to call that person and have a conversation with them about the DC role. It doesn't take them to the take action page or anything. It's a matter of having that conversation with that person that's interested in being a DC. And then you would help them get to the DC application in Citizen Builder to actually apply for the role if you think they're a good person for DC. And with that, you might find that they're good for a different role. They were interested in DC, but they might be really better for another role. And you could go and direct them how to get to the application for the role that they best fit. So let me know and we can get that going again in Arkansas to recruit more district captains.
Yeah, I think we have some different target districts that Randy presented to us at the summit meeting we had, and I'll get those together. But if you guys have other target districts in mind, then please slack them to me, if you will, and I'll get them to Rodney. And then you can give it to Jonathan if that's where it needs to go. But yeah, we need to get that done. So if at all possible, we need to get that done.
I haven't stepped back completely from RD role yet, because me and Jonathan, I'm getting him integrated into it. So it'll be a while. I'm still here for anything you need, as well as Jonathan. So.
Okay. All right. Okay. I need to move on to our, so let me stop sharing that. Let me go here. Okay. In 2019, we went over, we created our SMART goals. Okay. And Can everybody see my screen?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
can.
Okay. So these are the SMART goals for the district captains. And it's a good thing that we review this because I don't know who's achieved and who hasn't achieved these goals. I probably should visit with each one of you one-on-one. And since my schedule is getting a little bit shortened or not as full, I can do that. So the example goal that we had was I want to join the county committee of the political party of my choice to become an engaged member of the COS Grassroots Army. And the SMART goal is by joining my county committee with the political party of my choice, I will become an engaged self-governing citizen as a member of the COS Grassroots Army. I will have influence with my state legislators in my district or region because I'm a member of my county committee. I'll be able to help build an engaged grassroots army within my district and region by presenting COS for my county committee. So it specifically stepped out what you should do, the timeline, if it was measurable, if it was attainable, if it was relevant, and if it was time bound. I know that Catherine and Chris Del Conte have worked this goal. I know that Linda and Jack Gilbert have worked this goal. Has anyone else achieved this goal?
Yes.
Okay. So you who are regional captains, should we keep this as a goal going forward, or should it be, for new DCs coming in? Because this is a tool for y'all to use to go over with your new DCs what they can immediately do once they come on board and start their training, and then you can go over the SMART goals with them.
I think it's good as it is, but we just need to update some of the things in the time bound area.
Yep, you're right. But I just kind of wanted to go over, do we want to keep this goal going forward?
I do.
Okay. Now, since they're not, it's going to be a little different on this particular goal because now there's no filing time period like there was last year. So now it is just, these are public meetings, calling your county clerk, finding out when a specific political party county committee meets, attending that meeting, introducing yourself, and then finding someone in that meeting to sponsor you. And then getting on the committee that way. So I'll update this goal. Okay, the
Jackie?
next, yes.
We, in Crawford County, we've got 4 COS committee members now, but at the next meeting, there will be possibly as many as 6, probably more like 4, that have already attended one meeting, and this will be the second successive meeting. We plan to nominate or recommend them for membership, and that's in the past has been pretty much a foregone conclusion. So we will have possibly 10 new COS people on the Crawford County Republican Committee.
Awesome. Exactly. That's what we need to have. Because
And the old heads are very nervous about that.
oh, I'm sure they are, because I've been talking to Catherine and helping her understand the party rules. And from what I understand is they don't like their feet being held to the fire for violation of party rules.
Yes.
But overall, going forward, it will be a better committee moving forward. We had the same situation here in Cleveland County where I live. When I first started getting plugged in back during the Tea Party days, they didn't even know the rules existed. And some of the people had already been on the county committee for 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
They thought it was a social hour every month. And I said, I got better things to do than sit around for an hour with people who didn't want to do anything to make a change. So, but what that will do also is that will put COS people at the district committee level and the state committee level with votes on how the direction of the political party in that in our state. And we've got an election coming up for state chairman. That if we had tons of COS, it would be our candidate would be a shoe-in. So I hope people are starting to realize how important it is.
Well,
Yeah.
Catherine is well on the way toward state positions. She's, in fact, that's the reason she's not on the call today. She's meeting with the 3rd District Committee and developing a very close relationship to the chairwoman of the 3rd District Committee. It's looking really good.
Yes, and Catherine is going to run for 2nd vice chair, I believe,
Right.
on the county committee, so that the enforcement of the rules, which is the job of the 2nd vice chair at the county committee level, is a little bit easier for her to do. So it's looking great, and I'm excited because everybody's learning how all this works. And once we get it going and moving forward, then the quality of candidates that we have on the ballot at the local and state level will improve considerably, as far as depending upon the political party that you participate in, where they stand in actually working the platform of the party.
Yes.
So, which has been a problem for both political parties. Okay, so the second goal that we had for district captains was to recruit more volunteers for my district to build and engage COS Army at the local and district level. And so the SMART goal was, by scheduling and completing 4 events over the next year, I will see an increase in the number of petition signers in my follow-up tool. I will contact petition signers who volunteer within 48 hours. I will contact petition signers within, so you can read the rest of that. I think we should keep this goal too. It's an ongoing goal that we can use with our district captains. It's part of their training and what they need to be doing. Now, the question becomes, with COVID, people are less willing to meet in face at a meeting. I'm not saying that there aren't people that won't, but we need to bone up on using technology to conduct these kind of meetings. I think people would go online, but you've got to advertise them. It's like you can have the best website on the internet with a lot of eye candy and bells and whistles, but unless you have a way to push people to that website, it just sits there. It doesn't do anything that it's designed for. So we need to come up with ideas to help our district captains build their own volunteer in their house district. So we recruit a district captain for a house district, then they're responsible for reaching out. So I think that they need to use Citizen Builder to reach out to see who of their neighbors has signed our petition and start there. But then going next, what would be the next thing as far as getting people to know about Convention of States? Using the pocket, business card pocket that you can put on your cell phone is one way. To share your business card with people you just talked to in an elevator speech, so to speak, and getting the word out that way. Use of flyers, decide when you want to schedule a free conference call or Zoom meeting when you get comfortable with the technology. And or, as we discussed at our summit meeting, using the Constitution Alive getting trained as a Constitution coach and advertising the training people in the Constitution, and then getting them plugged in to Convention of States that way as well, volunteering. So I think I can update this goal. Any ideas that y'all have would be greatly appreciated. And of course, the timeline has to be adjusted as well. Any comments on this? No? Okay. All right. The next goal for our district captains was to become more knowledgeable about the Article 5 Convention of States, my role as district captain, and complete my recommended courses by September 2020. So if you're a new district captain, the goal is to get trained as quickly as possible. We all understand that life happens, so get your training done as you can. I'm the world's worst about getting training, then I get Constitution Alive thrown at me to go through that training. So I complete my last Constitution Alive training this Monday, get that done, and then I can get back into my COS training. So as soon as you can get it done would be very advantageous to your efforts as a district captain to build your grassroots army in your house district. So however you can go out to COS University and get that done, the better that you'll be able to communicate with people about Convention of States. And again, I think this is an ongoing goal for our district captains as well. And I'll adjust the time parameters on this as well. Any comments or anything else that needs to be added to this?
Update the deadlines.
Yep. And then developing relationships with your state legislators in your district, your house district, which would be a state representative and of course your state senator. We've got a legislative session coming up January. We're going, Randy and I and anyone else who wants to participate will be putting together our commissioning resolution. It will be the process in which we select commissioners to go to the state convention when we get to that point. So we're going to be putting this resolution forth this legislative session. Doesn't mean we'll get it done, but we've got to get it done and hopefully get it pushed through. We've got some new members coming onto the legislature. Some didn't run again. Some were defeated in their primary. So we need to get out there and really build those relationships with our legislators so we can get things going as legislatively.
Now, if we want to do that in the first part of 2021, that's the next opportunity would be 2023, right?
Exactly, because Arkansas has legislative sessions every other, well, in the odd numbered years. So Arkansas's legislative sessions happen right after an election year. Election years occur in even numbered years. So your legislative session, the next one is in the odd number years. So we got to get those relationships developed before the legislative session starts, so that when we show up at the Capitol and we go to visit our specific legislators, they know who you are. And so once you've cultivated that relationship and you show up at the Capitol, chances of our resolutions getting passed are a lot better. And everyone should have a self-governing button. If you don't, let me know. I'll be more than happy to send you one along with the Pocket for your phone. So we need to really hone in on this and get those relationships started with our legislators. Phone call is a great way to start.
So is it sensible for us to arrange with the district captains to meet with their legislators and we participate in those meetings to kind of get the ball rolling? Is that a reasonable reasonable thing to accomplish?
Yes, and I think it would also, if you decide to host either an in-person meeting, observing the CDC guidelines for COVID, and or hosting a Zoom or free conference call meeting, that you invite your state legislator to attend those meetings. But you should be making phone calls and or sending emails, which, you know, they get emailed to death, honestly, but sending a handwritten note saying, hey, I'd really like to meet with you to talk about some things that I'd like to see done this legislative session, is a great way to start that relationship.
They're pretty big on text messages too. My best success was to text them and say, when can we talk?
Yep.
And they'll give me a couple of times. Yeah.
Yeah, they,
Right.
you can go to the Arkansas State Representative website, and they typically list their cell phone numbers.
Yep.
Yeah, when you have a conversation with your legislator, make sure you let Randy, if you don't know how to document that in LMS, make sure you let Randy Alexander or Jackie know so they can put a note in the LMS on that legislator's record.
Right. So I think the goals that we established for district captains are still very viable goals. And so I will update this goal. Are there other goals that you can think of? I don't want to overwhelm our district captains, especially if they're new. But if they've been established for a while, they should be well along achieving these goals. So if you're a regional captain, I'm depending on you to contact them and letting them and finding out where they are on these goals. If they don't have a copy of these goals, we need to get them a copy. Once I get them updated, I will send them all out to you and to the district captains. I would prefer that you contact them first, but I will be contacting them as well to go over these goals. But this is a way to get them plugged in very quickly, get them engaged, get them realizing that they can make a difference. You know, it's one thing to recruit district captains, but you just let them sit out there and languish, they won't do anything. So then they won't be effective. Then therefore they're going, why should I promote Convention of States when nothing changes? Nothing will ever change unless you get engaged in the process. Okay, any comments on this? Okay, so then when we took the regional captain, we pretty much uploaded the district goals into this and also include the regional captains on these goals. Again, I need to update the time element here. But I think all of our regional captains have gotten on their county committee. We'll be checking with the regional captains as well as where they have achieved the goals that we outlined last year. But I think still this is an ongoing goal for any future regional captains that I need to recruit. So I won't go over these. Recruit more DCs for my region. The only way you're going to recruit new DCs for your region is to target specific House districts that you need to recruit in, and we're looking for highly populated areas. I understand if you have mainly a rural region, but you know where the highly populated areas are. If you need help in reaching out and building a specific district, that's what I'm here for. If you need me to host a Zoom meeting to make people aware in a specific House district that we need to recruit a district captain, and we'll start off with the people in that district that have signed our petition is the best way to start that, and send out information to them about a Zoom meeting to find out more about Convention of States, how they can get plugged in and make a difference in winning back their country. Because obviously they're concerned about where their country is, and signed the petition. So hopefully some of them will want to step up to the plate and do more. So get with me to discuss your target districts, and we can send them to Rodney. He can get with, is it Laura, Rodney? Or Lauren, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Laura. Yeah, Laura Scala, Sydney McKeel. Yeah.
Yes, to send out an email to those folks whenever we get our email blaster fixed, or even a text message. But I think Garrett Humbertson came up with a solution, a workaround on the email issue. We just have to tell them who to send it to, give them a list. But we can do things like putting together an invite to a Zoom meeting to find out more about Convention of States, or, hey, learn more about the convention of the Constitution in a 6-week course happening on specific day, time, or whatever. Get your family involved. It's a great way to get your kids educated on what's in the Constitution. There's a lot of tools that Convention of States has made available to us. So the next goal for regional captains is training. I think that's an ongoing goal for regional captains as well. And then 2, developing relationships with all the state legislators in your region. And you should be working with your district captains to help them develop their relationships as well.
So Jackie, for fear of sounding kind of ignorant, I cannot find these resources anymore. I thought they were on the Arkansas page, but I can't find them there. The SMART objectives.
Oh, the SMART goals? I don't know if
I know you know where they are and you've got them right there. I just was looking to find where my copy.
Yeah, I can email them to you. I thought I emailed them last year, but I could be wrong. But
Well, you probably did.
Them. Yeah.
If you did, I'll find them. But my question is, rather than ask for an email, shouldn't we go to the Arkansas page and find a tab that has SMART goals and go right to them?
Yes, Chris, is that doable? Is Chris still on the call?
Just
Yeah.
had to change screens a few times. It would be much easier to leave them in Slack where they are, where everyone has access. The website's hard to change.
Okay.
And you already posted them in Slack. Everyone on the team can go there and get them.
Yep. It's in the
Okay.
AR leaders. So if you're a district captain up, you can access these documents. Of course, once I get them updated, I'll have to take these old ones down and update with the new ones. Okay. Okay, so then let me find the SMART goals for the entire state. We just rolled up all of those goals to this one. So it's just a repeat. I do have to get, and these are mainly for me, for the state director. I do need to establish goals for the roles at the state level for state veterans, coalition person, for the state videographer, for all of those different positions as well. So, but these are the main ones, and I'll update this, that these, what we basically did is we took the district captain roles, rolled them up to the regional captain roles, and then rolled those, everything up into the state goals. So everybody's on the same page. They understand what we need to achieve, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll get that done today, and then Rodney, I can get these to you today. Is there any questions, any input? Anything like that? I do have another question, Chris, on Telepatriot. I think we talked about this at the summit meeting, that people need to be made administrators to be able to utilize that. Catherine had asked me about it yesterday, and I totally forgot. So,
I looked some in different Slack discussions to find out who that administrator was who gives people access. I couldn't find it. Rodney, do you remember, is it Brent somebody who gives people access?
Actually, that's me, but the way it is, and Chris, you as an SA should be able to do it except for moderator. Only the regional director can do that. But the better role, I know the names don't make sense. Better role for region and captains is director, because then it gives them the ability to create their own missions and not be able to do anything with others' missions. So, yeah, so they don't accidentally make a change to somebody else's mission or something. So,
Do you have
yeah,
a
I can do
document on how to
that.
get into all that? I don't mind doing it. I've never even found the start page.
Yeah, it's a role in the LMT, so you go to their profile and you assign them the role.
Okay, anything you have
But
you can send me on that would be great.
Yep, I'll get it
They're
to
gonna
you.
need instructions on how to actually use it too.
yeah, that
Yeah,
would be cool.
it'll take some training and a
Is there-
document.
Is there training documentation available on how to set it up and use it?
Yeah, I'll get that to you guys.
Okay, that would be greatly appreciated.
Okay.
Because that's, you know, a tool that we can use to reach out to our people and make sure they're getting to the polls to vote, just to go vote. That would be your circle of 10 .vote. Whoever you call, make a note of it and then put it in the Circle of 10 website. If you haven't been out there yet, you need to go out there. So Circle of 10 is influencing people not just to register to vote, but to get out there and vote.
Jackie, on that Circle of 10, I've got an older brother that is almost blind.
Oh.
And what provision do they make for, he asked me yesterday if I could go to in the voting booth with him, and I said, I don't know.
Yes, you can. You absolutely can. If he is disabled in that fashion, he is allowed to have someone help him vote.
Okay.
That is legally, it's in the law.
Okay, well, that's what I need to know. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, are there any questions on what we covered this morning? Wow. I can't believe that. I mean,
Okay, so when I looked up the SMART goals in Slack,
yeah,
what I found searching for SMART was your worksheet, your Word document with the highlights in it and stuff like that, right?
correct.
And so is that, we just consider that the final thing until you publish something for 2021 or?
Yes, and I'll get it done today.
Okay.
So today I will take those documents down and then I'll put up the new ones.
So I ended up, like I said, I'm not too bright sometimes. I ended up digging quite a bit to find these. Is there a way that we can make these a little bit more obvious. I was looking on the Arkansas page. That's the right place, right?
I think, yeah, no, it's on the AR-leaders.
Yep.
These documents are for the leaders of our team, which
Yeah,
would
I
be
had,
district captain, region captain, and
yeah,
state level.
I found them, but it took a bit of digging and scrolling. But yeah, okay.
Just read them
There's a
up.
way.
I'm sorry, Rodney.
There's a
go
way
ahead.
where yeah, there's a, in Slack, if I don't have it in front of me, but you can click on files and it'll bring up just files like Shalette posted there.
I
You can
see
find
it.
them easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then another way is Jackie could pin those documents, and then there's a little pin item at the top where in the menu where you can show just the pinned items.
And we only have a handful of files, so it's easier just to go to files and look at the list. It's not
Yep.
like there are hundreds to search through. There are
Yep.
tens.
So that's the key. Just to look under or look for files. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I deleted some the other day that we didn't need anymore, so that it would make it easier to find the documents that I uploaded for this call.
Okay.
But I think, Chris, we're going to need training, and we can do it through Zoom, where I can allow you to share your laptop or your screen, and then you walk us through Slack training, because we have some new district captains and we need to get them up on how to use that. We could do that with Citizen Builder and Telepatriot. So maybe Telepatriot would be a little bit more difficult because you're using a phone, but you and I can talk about that offline and get that set up and see, because we need to get our people up, because whenever I send out an email, and I am only sending emails to our team members, I'm not sending emails to the number of signers of our petition in Arkansas. I always put a copy of the invite in our AR-leaders private channel that Chris set up for us for me to put that invite in. So I'm double checking to make sure everybody's been added to that's new. But if you're a regional captain, don't forget to send invites to your new district captains to Slack. And if you don't know how to do that, get with Chris or get with me and let me show you how to do that. And then once you get them in Slack, you need to add them to the AR-leaders panel. Let me see if I can share my there it is. Can you see my Slack here? So if you don't, here's the AR leaders right here, and here's those documents I uploaded yesterday. I can pin them, and you can go to files. Where is it? Is it right? Oh, sorry, clicked the wrong thing. Where is the files again, Chris?
In the upper right, you should have, I don't think it's the 3 dots anymore in the new version. The little I
Yep, that's
with a
where I was
circle
going.
information. I think that replaced the 3 dots. Click on that.
Yeah, it did. And so you click on files, and there's all the files I uploaded yesterday. You can also see who the members are of this private channel. We have 33 members in this private channel. And I understand that people have lives. I get that. But it's very important. We only have these calls every 2 weeks. We need to work to get, you need to work to get your district captains on these calls. And if you're a state level leader, I need you to be on this call. We're recording this call, and I will push out the link to the recording when we're done via Slack and email. But Slack is easier to use than email right now because of the email blaster issue that we've got. So you need to, when you go into members, if you've got a new DC, you need to come into AR leaders over here and add them. So you click on add to AR leaders, continue, and then you just search by their name. But you first have to invite them to the Arkansas page. See that? So to invite an individual, let's see, where is it? Okay, I've read that. Where is it?
I saw it down at the bottom of the page.
Yeah.
Scroll down. Invite people.
Oh yeah,
Right, so-
invite people right here. Thank you. So you invite your new district captain by clicking on invite people, and you put in their COS action email to invite them to this. So then when you get them invited, then you need to go into AR leaders right here and add them to the member list. And, you know, work with them until they get used to using this. It's just a message tool, just kind of like Facebook messages. If they're used to using that, they can use this. Okay. So we really need to get our folks using the tools that we have to move our goals forward, but quite honestly. So I'm going to be using Slack, and I'm going to I'll continue to add in the district captains. It would be nice if you could Slack me and say, hey, I just recruited a new district captain, so I can add their email to Arkansas COS group that I've created in my Gmail account, just to be able to send out notices about this conference call. This conference call is, we only do it twice a month. This is training and getting information that I get from headquarters that I need to get out to you guys. So, you know, really need your help in getting district captains to get on this call. Okay, any questions, answers? It's 11 after 10. Any comments? You want to beat me up? Beat me up. It's now your chance to do that.
Thanks for everything, Jackie.
You're welcome. Anything else? If there's nothing else, then the call's over. So, and Chris, I'll get with you on what we need to do as far as training and that sort of thing. Okay? See you guys later.
Bye. Good
Bye-bye.
call. Thanks,
I'll
everybody.
get the goals to you soon, Rodney.
All righty.
Bye-bye.